It's alive! It's alive!
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Quick video for you guys talking about stage 24 and 25 of Spider's Den. Still the most important dungeon to farm inside this game for silver. Like we talked about 2 days ago, if you're looking for 6-star legendary and epic artifacts, stage 24 of Spider is going to be an important dungeon to clear. It's better in terms of, even if it takes you a little bit longer, in terms of pulling good artifacts, it's more worth your time than stage or any other stage, I guess, inside the entire game, because when you get to stage 20, the cost of energy goes up so that it's not conducive given the drop rates of this, harder to come by, more rare artifacts. So anyway, today's goal is going to be to provide 2 different templates to you guys for stage 24 and 25 using no void epics and no legendary champions, giving plenty of substitutions for you guys to go ahead and achieve the same thing. 100% victory, that's our goal here, no fails, right? And using kind of more outside the box HP burn strategies. Of course, these strategies taking on a ton of popularity recently because of the best teams in the game. I'm gonna start out with like the most OP team in the game. Again, no void epics, so no legendary champions. And then we'll get into a more realistic team for stage 24. However, you can use both of these champions from stage 25 and stage 24 teams, and I'll be showing that on tomorrow's video when I talk about the 15 most increased value champions out there right now in the game. So let's cover stage 25 first. All right, guys, so this is it. This is the most OP team out there, at least in my opinion. This is my best team. It's Miscreated Monster for the shield and support. It's Mordecai for the HP burn, and it's Achak the Wenderin. So Achak the Wenderin, all you really need to know about him on this team is that he places freeze on all the spiderlings, and his passive here, fills the turn meter of all allies by 10% every time one of those spiderlings gets a turn, and then HP burn. Heals all allies by 5% of their max HP every time an enemy under HP burn debuff gets a turn. It's insane, it's sick, and if you build them with god tier gear, Mordecai and Achak, you don't need a Miscreated Monster. We're just playing it safe here. I'm not going to use either of these 3 champions on my stage 24 run. Some of you might be saying, well, you can't use these champions anyway because of the Force Affinity. No. You can still run Mordecai as your HP burn champion. In fact, I prefer it on stage 24, and your tank. You build him to be a tank, not a damage dealer. So you can see the total stats here. We don't even worry about crit rate. We worry about accuracy. We worry about speed. And that's really it, giving him a little bit of defense, a little bit of HP burn. That's how we care about when we're building Mordecai, because on Mordecai, his HP burn is not landing on hits. So you don't need to worry about weak hits and not landing critical hits when it comes to his HP burn on his A3. That's why he's so good, and what makes him, in my opinion, preferable to champions like Ignatius, other HP burn champions, is because he also has the fill the turn meter of allies by 15% and has a 75 make it 100 when booked on a 3-turn cooldown to reduce the turn meter of all enemies by 15%. Times Undoing really helps out a lot on Spider's Den. So here we go. Let's go ahead and see this team in action. It's like magic, guys. It's crazy. Let me move myself over a little bit here. But yeah, this is definite reason to invest in Mordecai as a champion. He's really, truly a game changer. Same thing. Look at that. Look at this. I mean, it's going to take, the Spider's going to get 1 heal off on this team, but this team is so sick, man. 100% success rate. Again, that's what we really care about here. And again, if you don't have Miscreated Monster, this team also works with Scylla the Drakes. Unfortunately, having Achak the Wenderin with Mordecai is kind of that dynamic duo because of all those passive heals, but you can build a team out for stage 25 without having Achak the Wenderin or Mordecai using the same sort of strategy that we're going to devise for stage 24 in just a moment, but I had to show you this team because it's so good. Even in a legendary like Ignatius, as I was saying before, of course, he can also get the job done just fine, but look at the Spider's health, and look at our health. All those turn meters, all those freezes, all those heals. Oh my God. It's really fun to see. Another heal goes up on the Spider, but it's going to be less than 2-minute team in all epic champions. And again, Scylla Drakes fits in just fine here as well. As I was saying like 3 times now about Ignatius, it's on a 5-turn cooldown, his HP burn, I believe, versus a 4-turn. It's really nice to have that additional turn on Mordecai. Mordecai is so good, man, in terms of a Spider champion. Look at this. Look at our health. Look at our turn meters. I mean, nothing's even happening except for us killing the spider right now. So things really, really, really good here. And again, you can use a very similar team in stage 24. I will show you Mordecai beating stage 24 dragon and tanking in tomorrow's video, where we talk about the champions with the biggest value increase. So Mordecai, 13 million damage, no big deal, guys, and a new best time at 145. Very, very fun team to play. All right, stage 24. Well, first of all, it bears mentioning that if you're a big whale and you don't care at all about money or energy optimization, then just farm stage 25, right? You still get a better shot at getting, legendary and 6-star artifacts at the end of the day. All right, guys, so stage 24, kind of building a different team. We're going to use Ultimate Galek as our HP burn champion, but he needs an increased attack champion on the same team, so we're going to put Gorgrab on the same team with him. We're not going to use any of these champions, but if you do have Miscreated Monster, certainly use him. He's very, very good. He's better than Caden on this team. We're using Caden because we don't have the heals, not using legendary or void epics to keep this team alive. So we need 2 revivers on the team. So we have Gorgrab and Caden. Gorgrab, namely, because his revival ability, Animate, also has a 25% heal, which is going to cause him to use this ability even when there's nobody to revive. So we can't just base this on the RNG of Gorgrab's revival being off cooldown when we need it. That's why we need another revival champion on the team. We are going to run Vergis as our tank on this team, and as tempting as it is to run him on Aura Lead with that defensive aura, we're actually going to take the speed of Archmage Helmet. So Archmage Helmet can be substituted with Sill of the Drakes as well. If you don't have Caden, but you need another reviver, and you don't have Miscreated Monster, you can run Reliquary Tender. I prefer running her in Relentless gear, personally. But this is how the team works, essentially. We have the HP burn setup of, Mordecai, of Ultimate Galek and Gorgrab. By the way, if you have Mordecai, use him even in the anti-affinity. I'm going to show you how I built out Mordecai in a moment here. Really important to build him with a lot of defense and a lot of HP so that he can tank if you want to use him in stage 24. He can be your tank and your damage dealer, especially if you have that Miscreated Monster and or Sill of the Drakes on the same team as him. So here we go. The spider, by the way, on this team is going to get about 2 or 3 heals off, even 4 if you have bad RNG. So this run is going to take you from 2 minutes and 20 seconds, depending on your gear as well, to around 4 minutes being the long time. But we don't care so much about time, we care about consistency. And on this team, Vergis is going to be our tank. You can see him in the far left. We built Vergis with the lowest HP of this entire team. That way he will be tanking. That's the last spot on this team that I haven't mentioned yet. A tank, right? Someone who's really good at self-healing, and then a reviver to pick them up as well. Or an affinity negative champion, such again as Mordecai. Again, I will show you that Mordecai team on tomorrow's video when we tackle stage 24 with him. So it looks like we're doing pretty well here, but unfortunately there's going to be a whole nother heal from this spider. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and revive Vergis so we can continue to tank for our team here, right? So we're approaching the 2-minute run, but that's that heal that I told you guys about. Ultimate Galek is also dead. It's just a glitch right now. So this is where Caden's going to come in and pick up both of those champions on his next turn. That's why it's nice to have a double reviver or 2 revivers on your team, and Caden having a double revive in his kit. Again, Arbiter as well, if you have her, is a beautiful spot for her on this team as well, because she'll revive everybody. Forget about only having to deal with 1 or 2. So now we're cooking here. Literally, HP burn applied to all the spiderlings. We have a nice, we actually don't have any CC on the spiderlings right now, but you can see all that damage coming on to the spider mother. And now we just need 2 or 3 more ticks, and this battle is going to be in the books. Like I said, 2-minute and 32-second run. Not too bad in terms of time. Ultimate Galek, of course, dealing 14 million. Caden 1.4. Gorgrab 300,000. Vergis 300,000. Archmage Helmet with 2.5. It'd actually be ideal if Archmage Helmet didn't do so much damage on his A2. That way we could keep the spiderlings stunned, but not kill them. Just a final note on the stage 25 team that I just showed you. Obviously, if you have more than 3 champions, you can use more. Adding a Sill of the Drakes to that team to make it 4 champions strong will actually help you a lot. Make sure that you have the 100% success rate, and adding a 4th or a 5th support champion will help you out as well. So you don't have to obviously just run 3 champions on that team. To go over the builds really quickly here, Ultimate Galek literally just threw a bunch of random gear on him. You can see that not all of it's even upgraded, the amulet and the helmet here. Essentially, we're looking for some speed, some accuracy, and we don't want him to have the lowest HP on the team, so that way he won't be doing the tanking for the team. So again, 100% crit rate, so a success rate. I almost said success rate, which you guys want obviously as well, but 100% crit rate. We want an over 200, accuracy 250 plus is good. Even for level 24, 25, the resist does not go up on those mobs, so still, you know, 220 to 250 should be okay. And then speed, ideally I'd have this even faster, but 176 gets the job done as well. And then after that, just making sure he's not the lowest HP on the team. In terms of masteries on this champion, I haven't even touched them since I originally built this champion. Sorry, I have like allergies in my eye or something right now. I feel like I'm like wincing at the screen right now. So we went tier 6 on the War Master. We went down and grabbed Sniper as well. It is what it is. Master Hexer could be an option as well to extend the duration of the HP burns. As a matter of fact, I would want Master Hexer on this champion, so go ahead and take that instead of Kill Streak. Okay, going on to the other champions that we spotlight in today's video. It's going to be all epics, obviously. Mordecai, you'll see I have no masteries right now on the Mordecai that you're seeing on this video. It's really not necessary on Mordecai. I have better gear on him, again, perception gear, divine speed. However, as you can see, not fully upgraded on this champion, as well as ring, his amulet, his weapon, and his shield. So what I'm going for on Mordecai, much different, right? Again, we have speed, we have on the boots, we have HP on the chest, we have HP on the gauntlets as well. We don't care about crit rate. It's not about getting extra damage. We actually don't want extra damage out of this champion. We want to keep everybody alive for those HP burns to stay on. So I want resistance on the banner. As I was mentioning, this is actually the best artifact he has on, obviously a 6-star legendary. Resistance banner. We like resistance so that way he can tank if he has over 300 resist on stage 24, okay? And other than that, if you don't want him to tank on stage 24, you don't need him for stage 24, of course you can build him out with, you know, whatever. You can add whatever banner you want onto him. I would go probably with accuracy and then not have to worry so much about the perception gear, but you guys, you know, the choice is yours. And again, on his chest, if you want a little bit extra damage out of him because you're using him in more than one location, of course, go attack percentage, that's totally fine as well, or go defense on any of these positions as well. So that is Mordecai. Again, here's a look at his total stats, and we don't have masteries picked out right now on this champion, but if I was going to, I'd probably just go offense and support tree. Just kind of seems like no-brainers. Again, ending off at Master Hexer to extend that duration, and probably just going with War Master as a tier 6 mastery. Or again, Eagle Eye is a perfect option for you guys if you're looking for more accuracy on any of these champions. A couple more kind of important champions that we showed in today's video. Who else would you say is super important? I guess because he was tanking for us, let's show you Vergis here as well. And I think that pretty much ought to do it. I mean, Miscreated Monsters just in a bunch of... Where is Vergis? See, right in front of my face, there he is. So again, I have him with low HP, right? 37k HP, so that he is doing the tanking for the team, right? Have him on the lowest HP if he's not a negative affinity match, and he will likely be doing the tanking for the Spiderlings. High defense, high speed as well. That's really all I care about on Vergis. You can see I have 3 speed sets on him. You know, trying to get that speed, it helps, right? Because the more often he goes, you can see all of his skills are all about support. Reflect damage on a random ally in the A1. Continuous heal, increase speed, reflect damage on a target ally. Ally protect on all allies. Increase defense on himself. And then his passive is placed a shield on this champion for equal to 10% of their max HP for 2 turns whenever this champion loses 10% or more other HP from a single hit. It's so great to have the passive and the active of the passive as well in terms of him being a viable spider tank option. We have War Master as well and Lasting Gifts, which is a great option for Vergis. I'm trying to think of anybody else who's really important. Oh, Achak. I knew I was forgetting somebody, right? Achak the Wenderin, we have him built out in, let's see, his total stats first. Again, high accuracy to land those freezes. We have 179 on the speed. Again, if I was going to be nitpicky here, I would go even faster, because the faster he goes, the better. But of course, remember, his passive is predicated on the enemies taking their turns, so it doesn't really matter if he's a little bit slower on your team. It really doesn't. So, you know, faster the better, generally speaking. You can get those buffs up faster as well. But the beautiful thing about him is it's not just based on him, it's based on how many enemies are under those HP burns or those freezes. So 85 on the crit rate, 112 crit damage, 341. Again, we're really after making sure he has a decent amount of HP and a decent amount of accuracy with that high crit rate as well. So that's Achak the Wenderin. And again, we have War Master and Master Hexer as our tier 6 and tier 5 options on this champion. So there we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a few ideas for your Spider teams, 24 and 25. And if you're still on Spider 20, certainly nothing wrong with that. Just still go with your Royal Guard ×2 or ×3 or whatever, and your Occult Art ×1 or 2 or 3, whatever teams you are basically already using. Or if you want an HP burn team, go ahead and use your Contra or your Direct Stars to tank on stage 20. Again, trying to keep today's video legendary free. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, take care, guys.